Hi everyone. Today I would like to actually, in a way, celebrate something with you. Today is my 6 months of going cruelty-free, and I just think it's a perfect day and a perfect time to make a video to talk to you about my experience, how I'm doing and all that. And for me it's probably also a bit of a way to chronicle what is going on, because this has been a big part of my life in the past months. So I just, I just figured I would do a video on it, and actually tried to at least write down some notes, because I remember when I filmed my video where I announced that I was going cruelty free, I just the first time I filmed it, I rambled quite a bit, so I had to refilm it, and I decided that this time I would like to not risk that. So I took some notes down, and I just thought about what I wanted to say, and I tried to just make a little bit of a list to make sure I don't forget anything and that it doesn't get too rambly. So that being said, I have to say, all in all, it's been going very well for me. I can't complain at all. I have not run into any issues where I would say, oh man, I really want that product, but it's not cruelty free, so I can't get it, but maybe I'm just gonna skip that one time and I'll get it. I haven't had that problem really. I was very disheartened when I couldn't find a good toothpaste. That was maybe a month or two ago. So not too long ago, and my issue was I actually was trying to find a cruelty-free toothpaste and one that was also natural. I decided that I will just ignore the natural part for now, because the toothpaste that I did try, they just didn't do it for me. They never gave me that fresh feeling. So I ended up saying, you know what, I'll just see what else I can find at the store. And when I went to the store, I vaguely remembered that most of the brands of our local drugstore, actually the store brands, are cruelty free. So I figured, hey, why should their toothpaste not be cruelty free then? And I had that kind of in mind, but to my big surprise, after buying it, I found out that it's not only cruelty free, it's also vegan. So that was really perfect for me, because I wasn't even going towards the vegan direction when it came to that product, because I just didn't know what to look for and where to look, and we don't have any health food stores and the likes in this area. So I would have to spend time that I right now need for my university work to look for those products in Frankfurt, but that was not really something I wanted to do. So I just figured, you know what, I'll just say whatever, I will get the store brand, and I'll try that, and it was really, really good. But yeah, I have to say I didn't run into too many bumps there when it came to going cruelty free. And for me, I mean, I've not even been looking for brands like Maybelline, L'Oreal, and the likes when it came to shopping for makeup and beauty stuff. It didn't even run through my head. I walk right past. I mean, I'll look at where the heck the brands are that I'm looking for, but everything else I just don't care for too much. I'll just walk past, because it's nothing I want to purchase anymore. So in a way, I'm quite happy with that, and I'm also still waiting for that moment when I'm really, really frustrated about it. About going cruelty free, because maybe something is not available to me anymore. But so far, and fingers crossed here really, it hasn't happened. So that being said, I also have to say that shopping has not been too big on my agenda lately, because I am trying to move all those non-cruelty free products out of my collection, and for the most part I was trying to do this by using them up. But you may have noticed I'm also working on decluttering a bit. And actually, I have to say I have completely finished decluttering. It's just so much products that I went through that I needed to really divide it up into multiple sections, and they will be coming online for the next month or so. depending on when I have the time and the open slot to just upload them. I didn't want to upload them all at once because that would just be too much. So there was never really an issue for me when it came to shopping. What I've noticed actually is that when I hear other people talk about products from brands that are not cruelty free, the first thought that I have goes out to, oh, they do animal testing. I don't really care about that brand. And I don't mean to say that I will judge those people based off using that brand, because I just try not to, for the simple reason that I don't want to be judged. But for me, it is something that, well, yeah, I've seen it, I've heard them talk about it, and often enough they don't even like the products. A big thing right now apparently is that L'Oreal Cushion Foundation, and I've heard so many mixed reviews about it that I don't even feel tempted at all. Like, yes, I've always been like, oh, cushion foundations, actually I would like to try one, but they were never available to me, and now that they are available, I still hear those mixed reviews, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I wouldn't even want to spend money on that if it were cruelty free. So, you know, it's a pretty good balance there for me right now. And the thing that I find interesting actually is I had my video running in the background where I talked about going cruelty free 6 months ago, and I found it interesting because I heard bits and pieces when I was taking my notes and thinking about what I would like to say in this video right now. So I found it interesting when I explained about my decision to go cruelty free and how I was going to deal with my collection and all my non-cruelty free products and all the various aspects of cruelty free versus non-cruelty free, and vegan products and products from companies that are cruelty free but that are owned by companies that are not cruelty free and that do tests on animals, and all that. I found it interesting because back then I thought and I said that I would not be working on getting my collection vegan as well. But the thing that I noticed is that actually when I have the chance to get a product that is cruelty free and vegan, and if that product also performs well, I am more drawn towards the vegan version that is also cruelty free than only the cruelty free version that may have animal products in it or animal derived products. So it's an interesting thing that I've noticed just listening to the video and thinking about what I'm actually doing. What you may have noticed is that very recently I have started to annotate in my info box when a product is cruelty free but the company is owned by a company that does test. I just use a little asterisk there because I didn't know how else to mark it best, because in my opinion it is still cruelty free, but I just figured I would make this little adjustment to the way I mark my products that I list in the info box, because I know that many people actually don't want to purchase from companies that are owned by companies that are testing. So that parent company issue is pretty much big all over, but for me it is still something that I will still purchase from those companies if they themselves don't test. I know that part of their revenue goes to that testing company, to the parent company, but all in all I feel that if I actually were to stop purchasing from them, that might actually give the parent company the wrong idea, because if their sales go down, they don't see that not testing on animals actually keeps customers with you. So I just think it is a way for me to support those brands. I mean, they were cruelty free from the get-go. Think of Urban Decay, for example. They used to be completely independent, and then they were sold, and now the parent company tests, but Urban Decay still does not test. So for me, that is still a reason to support Urban Decay, because I understand why sometimes companies are being sold. And yeah. So that is my experience in those past 6 months. Yeah, that being said, I actually have to admit I was quite surprised by my numbers. I did the math just this morning, trying to figure out how many products, give or take, I had that were not cruelty-free when I first started going cruelty-free in September, and actually I had roughly 240 non-cruelty-free products, and with lots of project pans, and also some decluttering, which I did mostly in January, I worked my way down quite a bit. And well, now I am at roughly 55 non-cruelty-free products. Might be one or two more or less, give or take. You know, it's just roughly 55 products. I have 55 products on my list of non-cruelty-free products, and I know there's still a lot of products that I have to go through number-wise, but it's still much better from the beginning. And what actually I would say what helped me was that I actually used those products up for the most part of those 6 months, and just by doing that I saw which products I actually reach for, which products I like, and what does not work for me. And that helped me with the decluttering a lot, because that way I could make an informed decision based on what I like and what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm very glad about that. And I have tried decluttering before January, but then I did never declutter as many products, because I didn't know how best to declutter and what I really liked and used and what I didn't. I have worked my way quite a bit to a number that I think is manageable. I can use these products up, but I also know that it is going to take some time. I'm pretty sure that by the end of the year I will not be completely cruelty-free with my makeup products, because I have quite a few nail polishes that I could not pass on, because they are colors I just like too much, and so I decided to keep those around and use them up completely. But nonetheless, I think there is an end to the whole process in sight, actually. And what I'm really happy about is that I have many categories where I'm either already cruelty-free or categories where I'm very close to being cruelty-free. So right now, for example, I am working on my last non-cruelty-free foundation, and everything else that I have foundation-wise is cruelty-free, so that is quite good in my opinion. And I actually have already quite a few foundations that are both cruelty-free and that I have tried already, so I have a bit of an idea of what is coming for me in the once I've used up that foundation, and that makes me happy. It's just that I had to set them aside for a bit because I wanted to use up my non-cruelty-free foundations first, and that day is coming very soon. I have some plans for the future. You know that I have probably, you know, by watching my Project PN videos, which is what I've been doing almost exclusively at the time being right now, that most of my non-cruelty-free products are actually part of my Project Use It Up, and originally I wanted to do the Project Use It Up with all non-cruelty-free products and just work my way through them that way. But I actually noticed over time that when I was creating my list for the project, that was not manageable. I had many nail polishes on my list, and there was no way I was going to go through that many nail polishes in the year. In fact, even my current goal of using, I think, 5 colored nail polishes is very, very unlikely. But I still want to do this. I'm challenging myself to work through those nail polishes, and I don't want to declutter anything anymore unless I notice while using them I don't like the color anymore. So I just decided that I would do my Project Use It Up, for example, half and half. So I have half of my list contains products that are really not cruelty-free, and the other half are products that I just figured I would like to use those up, and it's manageable for me. So that's how I came up with that list, for example. And Project Pan is very pretty much a key aspect for me when it comes to using up the products I want to move out of my collection. So with my nail polishes especially, I actually decided to change my mind a bit, and yeah, I'm okay with that, and I'm pretty sure that by the end of 2016 I will still have quite some nail polishes left. But I think most of the other products I can use up by then. And the one thing I've decided for myself is that I probably just going to keep those nail polishes and products until they go bad. If the nail polish starts to get thick and gloopy, I might just not thin it out with nail polish thinner anymore, and I'll just consider it done then. Or even with, I think I have 2 fluid lines right now, 2 gel eyeliners in my collection. There's no way I can use up 2 within the year. I don't think so, at least. So I'm going to use up 1, and then the other one I'm just going to keep around, and if it dries out, and it will dry out eventually, I'm just going to call it done. So that is kind of my plan for the non-cruelty-free products I have in my collection, and the plan might change, but for the time being, I'm pretty happy with what I've decided for myself. So for my channel, however, that means I will still be showing my non-cruelty-free products because they are part of the projects. They are also part of my empties. They are the products I have used up, and I think it's a nice way to show what products I use up and what products I end up using after all those non-cruelty-free products, because maybe I can compare them, and that way give viewers who have, and all of you who maybe know the non-cruelty-free version, an idea of what might work for you as well that is cruelty-free. So I think that might be a nice way too. And the thing is, I will definitely just be marking everything in my info box like I've been doing for the past months. I'll just stick to that, and I think it works quite well. What I will not be doing, I will not be throwing anything out or just decide I'm not going to show those products, because the fact is I have those products, I'm using those products, and even not thinking about what I was buying was part of my life before that decision. So I think it was only realistic to show you the process I'm going through, rather than just deciding, you know what, I'm just not going to show those products anymore. And yeah, I think what really made the difference for me and making that decision to go cruelty free was that I found out what animal testing meant and how it works, and where all the issues really are. For me, it's something that I think most people just are not aware of what is going on behind those closed doors, because nobody wants to talk about it. Even the companies most likely consider it shady business, because they know if people knew what is going on, they might not purchase those products anymore. So for me, I think that not knowing is what played a big part in my ignorance in recent years about the whole issue. And I don't really want to be too philosophical here, because that's just not me. I've never been, and most likely never will be, a more philosophical person. I don't even like to take classes on philosophy because it's not my thing, but I just thought it's something that I should address, because it is something that I realized lately on how this information or lack thereof actually influenced everything when it comes to animal testing, because most people just are not aware of how and where animal testing actually is conducted and what is done in those tests. But for myself, I can say that just knowing is really half the battle for me and my collection and my lifestyle. And I'm not trying to say that I'm completely cruelty-free or ever will be, by no means. I'm not vegan or anything, I'm not vegetarian or even, so for me it's just I'm trying to get at least one part where I can actually more easily make a transition to get that part cruelty-free, and everything else we'll see. I mean, at home there's no way I'm eating no meat or anything right now, because that's just not an option really, unless I want to eat noodles without anything, for example. But when I'm out and about, just to give you an example, I try to stick with the vegan or vegetarian options if I can, if there's something that is available. And I think that is a good start. So it's just that for me, my beauty collection, and that in my case actually includes all my personal hygiene stuff, so body lotion, shower gel, toothpaste, shampoo, and all that. I'm trying to get that cruelty-free and ideally vegan as well. But yeah, that is what I'm doing right now, and I'm actually very happy about that. So I hope this update was not too long. I'm fairly certain that I will have to edit quite a bit though. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I just wanted to give you an update on how I'm doing 6 months into the whole going cruelty free. And I'm happy with it. I'm still happy. I love what I'm doing, and it's just great. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!